Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Ask the Expert session for Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. Again, my name is Kristen Fleek. Perhaps you were just with us over at the featured session on Cloud for Nonprofit. We had a ton of great questions and engagement in the chat pane there, and so we may have more of you coming back to this session with even more of your questions. So we're really excited for all the participation we've had so far at Ignite, and just thank you for joining us today live for some more Q&A. So my name is Kristen Fleek, and I'm going to go ahead and just walk us through the agenda, set the rules for how our Q&A is going to work, and then we'll jump right into the action. So I'm going to talk about kind of what to expect in terms of how to use our team's environment here. I'm going to introduce who our experts are. We have some experts who will be on screen fielding questions verbally, and then we have another set of experts that are going to be taking questions in the chat pane, just because we're anticipating great volume, and so I want to make sure you know who everybody is that's joining you today. And then we'll go into it. We'll open it up for Q&A with a closing at the end. So in terms of what to expect today, if we go to the next slide, great. So the way to engage with our experts is to use the chat functionality within Teams. And you can either post anonymously or you can use your name if you'd like. Either way is fine. And if you don't necessarily have a question, but you really like a question that you see that somebody else has posted, feel free to give it a thumbs up and upvote that particular question. We will be both answering questions in the chat stream, but when we see there's a high popularity question, the team will float that to me. So you'll sometimes see me looking down, trying to figure out what our next question will be, and then I will ask one of our on-screen experts to help with that one as well. So we're going to get through as many questions as we can today, and we're going to provide some more resources at the end of the session in case we didn't quite get through everything that we hope to. So with that, if we go to the next screen, just want to do a quick reminder on etiquette. This session will be recorded, and so if you want to go back and listen to an answer again, or if you need to leave early and want to see what you missed, we will be recording the session. We ask that you do not record this session on your own technology. We ask that you be respectful to our moderators. No spam, negative behavior in the chat, please. We're going to look at the code of conduct here just as a quick reminder. You all signed the code of conduct to come to Ignite, and so we are looking for a friendly, supportive environment. We want to encourage education. We welcome your questions, and just ask you to continue to follow that code of conduct as you hopefully have been the entire event. So with that, I would like to, I believe, introduce our experts. So that's me, Kristen Fleek. I'm our business applications lead on the Tech for Social Impact team. And so the types of questions that I might be fielding today might have to do with timelines, pricing, licensing, more of the business kind of side of the house. And then I'm joined by two other speakers as well. And so I'm going to ask Erin McHugh-Safe to introduce herself next.
Thanks, Kristen. Hi, everyone. I'm Erin McHugh-Safe, and I'm the Global Director of Product Development for Tech for Social Impact. Really excited to be here with you today. I'll be here to answer questions about our products and solutions, ranging from Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit to fundraising and engagement. I can also take questions about the Nonprofit Accelerator and the Common Data Model for Nonprofits. So looking forward to the discussion. And I'm also joined today by Greg. So Greg, over to you.
Thanks, Erin. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Kristen, thank you for hosting. I am the Senior Partner Development Manager here at Tech for Social Impact, and I am excited to answer questions about how our partner ecosystem will continue to deliver solutions for nonprofits as they have been, and how they'll leverage Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit, fundraising engagement, the Nonprofit Common Data Model, and all the wonderful work that Erin has been doing to continue delivering for nonprofits' largest challenges. So, and then, I'll probably provide some comic relief, as I tend to, for those of you who know me. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Erin. And then in our chat pane, we have a few of my favorite colleagues as well. If we go to the next slide, you are joined today by Flora Muglia, who is our Azure lead, my counterpart on our Azure business. Kelsey Bird, who is also on our engineering team, fielding some of the technical questions that we might not have time for Aaron to get to, so we'll do a double whammy there. And Eric Moe is our GTM marketing lead on Tech for Social Impact, jack of all trades. So we've got lots of folks here ready to help you as well as we can in the chat pane. So with that, chat pane is open. I see some of you are already submitting questions, and so please feel free to continue to do that. I am gonna start with, just to get everybody warmed up, a little bit of a softball to Aaron. Can you just give us a quick overview of Cloud for Nonprofit? What is it?
Great question, and I'm sure why many of you are here today. So let's get into it. So Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit takes and brings together the trusted cloud capabilities across the Microsoft platform and stack. We are delivering with Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit purpose-built capabilities and scenarios aligned to the most common nonprofit use cases. This is purpose-built for the nonprofit sector, and we're really excited that that work, the solutions that we bring to market, will span from constituent management to program management, award management and fundraising, volunteer management and engagement, and program design and delivery. And we'll talk about that throughout today's sessions. We also, with Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit, are really digging deep to help organizations align disparate data from across your own organization and across many of the applications that you use today, so that you can fully realize the value and power of that data to accelerate your mission outcomes. We do that by accelerating time to value and unlocking the power of Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Power Platform, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Dynamics 365, and LinkedIn, all brought together and underpinned by the common data model for nonprofits, which was developed by sector leaders and thought leaders working in the nonprofit sector today. And we are essentially a customer of that common data model for nonprofits. In addition, Cloud for Nonprofits includes both existing capabilities, which we'll talk about here, future capabilities that will help organizations better communicate and collaborate internally across the world and with their own colleagues as well as other collaborating organizations. This is all about program and mission effectiveness and mission delivery, and we're excited to get started with you. And in fact, it's our rich partner ecosystem that extends the value of Cloud for Nonprofit even further with industry-specific solutions that are really aimed at addressing the sector's most urgent challenges. So I hope that helps.
I think it probably does. Thank you, Erin. So let's take our next question. I'm going to read it from the pane here. The biggest question my clients have, we are a partner, is how do the current nonprofit grants for M365, Dynamics, and Power Apps fit in with the new Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit? I'm going to throw that question to myself. So the grants that are available in market can all be applied to the Cloud for Nonprofit. So for example, fundraising and engagement is part of Cloud for Nonprofit, and it is already in market. Fundraising and engagement is built on Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise, and nonprofits, eligible nonprofits, can get 5 seats of Sales Enterprise free, essentially. So the grants across all of our clouds can be applied to the Cloud for Nonprofit scenarios. So I will ask one of my colleagues to just put a link in the pane to our website where you can see what those grant offerings are, but they can be directly applied. So that's a great question. I hope that alleviates any confusion that your clients have had. Next one, I'm going to throw this one to Erin. Erin, how is the Cloud for Nonprofit different than the quote unquote regular cloud?
Sure. Great question. So many of you probably have seen the visual that that Microsoft uses quite a lot to describe on the Microsoft Cloud, with Azure as the foundation, Power Platform, Dynamics, and modern work all up, helping organizations to move from on-premises capabilities to always on, always secure, always backed by Microsoft Trust and Governance. So that is very much at work here. I think the key difference is that all of the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit capabilities have been purpose-built for nonprofits. So we're leveraging that Microsoft Cloud, and we're building further. We're building and extending for nonprofits very, very specifically. This is not taking a sales or commerce solution off the shelf and giving it a new label or repackaging it. This is really working with our engineering organization, with our colleagues across the company, to ensure that we're focused on nonprofit specific use cases and scenarios, and that we're leveraging capabilities like Azure and like Dynamics to really power nonprofits forward, both in the fundraising areas, but also increasingly in the program delivery, finance, and data and insights area as well. So Microsoft Cloud is included as the foundation. Common data model for nonprofits is the data schema and the structure that underlies every product that we develop. And then all of the capabilities, the features and the functionality of Microsoft Cloud itself have been developed with nonprofits in mind.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. Our next question goes to Greg. How do I find a partner that can help me with Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit?
Great question. Thank you for asking it. And thank you to the partner earlier who asked a question. We appreciate you being part of the partner ecosystem. There are a couple good ways to engage with a partner. First, I always recommend if you're already working with a partner who has capabilities across the business application suite, I recommend reaching out to see if you want to continue working with them. I think building that relationship and working with partners that you're already familiar with is usually helpful, but I imagine the question comes in because you might not already have a partner. And there are a couple good places to look for partners. If you're looking for a fundraising and engagement partner in particular, up on our website, and hopefully somebody can put that into the chat, there's a list of partners who went through enablement on fundraising and engagement. Now, truthfully, any partner who has sort of the underlying capabilities and dynamics can help you deliver fundraising engagement. But I know those partners, I think there's about 20 of them up on the website, went through the enablement and are up to speed on being able to deliver that solution. If you're looking for something beyond fundraising and engagement and you're looking to be connected with a partner, you can always go to AppSource and look at the solutions that are up there. Most of the, as well as consulting offers, most of those partners are always happy to engage with nonprofits to work through any of the Dynamics or Power Platform challenges you might be finding. And then finally, there is a broader find a partner search for Microsoft, and you can go there to find a partner that is in your locality. So I would say those are the three separate ways. And if you have a Microsoft representative, if you happen to know an account representative that's representing your organization, you can always contact them and say, I'd love some partner recommendations. Can you help guide me? So I think those are probably the best ways to connect with a partner.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. All right, we have a question that has come in for Erin. Can you explain more about the common data model for nonprofits?
Sure, absolutely. One of my favorite topics. So the common data model for nonprofits I mentioned earlier it's a data schema. It's a data structure, data definitions, entities, and attributes that span fundraising, award management, grant management, program design and delivery, monitoring and evaluation, all the way through reporting, impact reporting, donor reporting, funder reporting. It is a schema that was developed back in 2018 by sector leaders and thought leaders from the nonprofit sector. Microsoft played a role. We helped to convene a number of these leaders, but this was really an industry-led motion. And over the course of that year and in subsequent years, the community has continued to enhance and expand and extend that common data model for nonprofits. In fact, there's nonprofit CDM community that's alive and really active. You can join that community. You can join and participate in a Yammer group. I know my colleagues will post the links to those resources in the chat so that you can join today. And it's a really vibrant community. The goal of the Common Data Model for Nonprofits is really to help organizations be able to define and relate data within their own organization, and that they may have across disparate parts of the organization, as well as across different applications and systems that they use today. The cost of data in the nonprofit sector is too high. And of course, adapting to a single schema does not come without work. However, from Microsoft, what you can count on from our team is that the Common Data Model for Nonprofits will underpin every single piece of technology that we produce and deliver to the nonprofit sector. Our partner ecosystem has really come on board and has integrated and built that data model underneath their applications in really powerful ways. And every single day I hear more vendors who may not even be building on the Microsoft platform today, who are responding to nonprofits' inquiries and nonprofits' requests that in fact this common data model be leveraged if the organization is to work with a particular vendor. And that's really exciting and really powerful to see, and it can only come through the power of our nonprofit organizations understanding that there is a potential better way forward, a way forward where the data that you have in one system, a transaction or a designation or a recurring gift is relatable and is defined similarly or the same as that same information that might be in another system where you're constantly having to bring that data together. And that's powerful. It's powerful to be able to move your organization forward with proactive information that you can learn from. It's also powerful from the standpoint of being able to reduce the cost of data management over time, which has gotten, frankly, too high for the sector to bear. So we'll continue to watch how that community develops and continue to be a consumer of that model ourselves.
Can I just say that I love when Erin starts to nerd out on data. It like warms my heart.
It won't be the last time, I'm sure.
It won't be the last time.
All right, the questions are starting to fly in, so we'll keep on moving. I'm going to ask Greg the next question. What is the rationale for having nonprofits engage with a Microsoft partner to take up the Cloud for Nonprofit offering?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there is a strong rationale for having, from my perspective, a strong rationale for having nonprofits engage with a Microsoft partner for a lot of their projects. I mean, our partner ecosystem brings a wealth of experience and the ability to extend and meet nonprofits' needs in a very customized way by configuring solutions and helping extend the base functionality to meet their needs. So for most projects, I think there is a strong rationale. With Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit in particular, a lot of the current offerings have an underpinning of Dynamics or Power Platform that sometimes nonprofits just don't have in-house capabilities to work with. Now, if you happen to be a nonprofit who has a 1,000-person IT staff, then perhaps you can bite off some of these projects on your own. And I don't think it takes that much. I'm exaggerating, but if you happen to be very well versed, there might be a way forward without engaging a partner. But generally speaking, in almost every project I've ever talked to a customer about or talked to a partner about, the partners are able to bring that wealth of experience and ability to help execute, to help the nonprofit focus on what nonprofits should be focusing on, which is delivering their mission. I think, speaking a little bit more broadly, that's the whole focus for everyone here at Tech for Social Impact, is trying to make it so that nonprofits can continue delivering on their mission and continuing to save lives, feed children, save trees, save the ocean, whatever the mission happens to be, making sure they can continue to execute there and allowing Microsoft and the partner ecosystem to facilitate that mission delivery. Does that I think that's
Greg,
the crux
I think
of
that's
it.
such a great way of putting it. And I think just to add one small note on top of that, and that is that we're serving together with our partner ecosystem the globe. We're working with over 250,000 nonprofit organizations, and in similar countries, of course, what sometimes is the binding agent with these organizations is that there's a certain tax category for nonprofits, but missions can be widely divergent, as Greg mentioned, and our partners bring expertise to the table in geographic areas, in mission types, in the breadth of their own work that can help organizations really go the extra mile. And so I think that's really critical as we look at how do we help bring technology to the furthest flung shores of this planet and help organizations large and small be successful.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
spot on.
We love our partners. I mean, to state the obvious, partners are your partner. You will benefit from their expertise on repeatedly helping customers, to roll out these solutions. And we've got some great ones ready to engage. So next, I think this is a pretty quick and easy one for Erin. Are these modular solutions that we can plug into our existing Microsoft Cloud investments that we already have in place?
I love that question. So we've been talking a lot within our team about our commitment and our focus on grow as you go, right? Every organization comes to the table with a different set of technology needs, and you're on a different part of the journey, and that's where we want to meet you. And so for our current customers, thank you. We have lots of organizations who've been using Dynamics 365 sales for years, and the great thing for those organizations is that they can pick up fundraising and engagement at no cost. There is no cost to the fundraising and engagement capabilities that we launched in market in October. So that's wonderful. But these are also solutions for organizations that we have not been working with, who might be new to Microsoft. And whether that journey means getting started with something like fundraising and engagement that's part of Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit, or whether it means getting started with Teams because your organization had to go remote overnight last year, that journey is going to look quite different per organization, and we are focused on building our technology in a microservices modular fashion so that you have a lot of choice and a lot of flexibility at your fingertips.
Awesome. Thanks, Erin. Next question I will tackle, and if anybody wants to jump in, feel free. Is the Cloud for Nonprofit designed for new customers or those that have been using Dynamics 365 for a long time? It is designed for both. If you have we had several customers that were using Dynamics 365 sales, for example, before fundraising and engagement was even available, using it for constituent management, to manage different internal processes. And so if you've been on, Dynamics, you're going to have new capabilities within Cloud for Nonprofit that are tailored for the sector, and that you can add on top of what you already have. But we launched fundraising and engagement in October. Again, that is a component of this broader Cloud for Nonprofit umbrella. And we've had a lot of new customers that never had Dynamics before, but have pain points around managing the donor experience and how they can automate processes, et cetera, relative to their whole fundraising function. And so we have a lot of new customers that have never evaluated Dynamics before that all of a sudden understand that we are engineering that horizontal platform of Dynamics 365 to be relevant for nonprofit functions. And so whether you've had Dynamics for years or never had it at all, if you've seen something in our presentations around fundraising engagement or volunteer engagement, volunteer management, which is built on Power Apps, then you are welcomed into the family. We'd love for you to come and evaluate if that's something that we can help you with. Let's see. I see another question here that I will take, a pretty quick one. Are there benefits for nonprofits using LinkedIn? So LinkedIn does offer nonprofit pricing as well. So I think one of my colleagues here is poised to send you a link to their website so that you can see the pricing for Sales Navigator, ads, etc., that is extended to nonprofits. And if you did join our session just a little while ago, you saw Aaron actually demonstrate LinkedIn Sales Navigator embedded within fundraising and engagement. So in both of those cases, if you have those licenses for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise at the nonprofit discount price, you can use that in that integrated fashion, just as one example of how to use LinkedIn. All right, I'm gonna, since I was talking, I now need to look at the pane and see what the next question is. Let's see, okay. Can you share more details about when Cloud for Nonprofit will be available? I think all of us know the answer to that, but since I've been talking for a little bit, I will throw it to Aaron for variety here.
Sure, happy to address that. So fundraising and engagement is part of Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. It is available now. We launched it in October. We have been pushing out enhancements and updates. We're hard at work on our next release, which is slated for the April timeframe, and there are going to be a lot of goodies coming in that April release. So I would encourage you, if you liked what you learned today, we will be hosting a webinar on March 30th, where we'll be getting into the details of what that release will include and have some nonprofits joining that session as well. So check that out. In addition, we are going to be working and launching some great things in the area of volunteer management and engagement. And also, you know, the three real pillars of Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit are all about knowing your increasing your funding and support. So focusing on donation management, fund reporting, impact reporting, all of these incredibly important capabilities where we want to break the silos down between fundraising, operations, and the program side of your organization. We'll be working to empower your staff and empower volunteers with the volunteer management capabilities, but also additional program capabilities that will be coming. And then all of this is really anchored in our insights and impact capabilities that will really underpin all that we do. I think it's important to note that Azure, our AI and machine learning capabilities are really going to underpin all of Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit. For example, donation management and payment processing, as well as key performance indicator calculations and any kind of roll-up of data that's happening today in fundraising and engagement is powered by Azure, and that's really important. It's really powerful, but it also means that you've got that data infrastructure behind you to scale up and down on your busiest fundraising days, or on days when you're, for example, really trying to analyze and intercept or deal with a lot of field data that's coming in from your program side. And so that will be critically important as we move forward. The timelines to watch: fundraising and engagement already available. April, next release of fundraising and engagement, volunteer management and engagement capabilities coming this summer, and we have some big moments lined up for the fall as well.
Awesome, thank you, Erin. I think we probably have time for one more question, and then we'll do some closing comments. And it looks like this is a fun question coming to me. Does the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit cost something? So we have not announced the pricing construct for Cloud for Nonprofit. Standard for Microsoft to do that a little bit closer to the general availability, which Aaron's just described as second half of 2021. So we don't have official pricing to share here. What I will say is that if you're not familiar, we have standardized discounts on the cloud SKUs. And so usually in that 60 to 75% range, it can vary a little bit by license. So for example, fundraising and engagement, as Aaron said, available today. If you were to buy that off of the commercial price list, it would be $95. But with that 75% discount, it's $23.75 per user per month. So for now, if you're interested in fundraising engagement, that's the price point that you could get started today. And don't forget that you can get 5 free seats to help you get started. So, so what I can say relative to announcing any pricing closer to general availability, we are very, very committed to keeping costs as low as possible and to allowing nonprofits to add on what you need as you need it. So those are principles that we have maintained since Tech for Social Impact started, and we will continue it. So thank you for the question. I hope that helps. So with that, I think we have one kind of final closing slide. I think we have less than a minute left, and so I think we got through many of your questions today. So thank you for your great participation. I want to thank Erin and Greg for being with me, for Flora and Kelsey and Eric and everyone in the chat pane, and really for the audience. Thank you for taking time to be with us today. I know you have a lot of choices at Ignite, and I'm thrilled that you were so excited about Cloud for Nonprofit. And there are ways for you to learn more. So you see some links on the screen here. They're probably being shared in the chat as well, that you can learn more on our website. I do want to draw your attention to a webcast that we have on March 30th, where we will go deeper into Cloud for Nonprofit, include some customer interviews, demos, etc. So that will be the next place where you can see and hear more about what's coming. So mark your calendars. You've heard us talking a lot about fundraising engagement just because that's available today. So we have some URLs there where you can take a test drive, actually get a feel for what the solution is like, etc. So we hope this has been informative and helpful for all of you. We hope that you have a great rest of day and rest of Ignite. Thank you so much for being here today.